So today we're making the recipe for my grandma Wilma's peach cobbler. Now you can use any fruit with this really, but we always had it with peach and it is the best. It's so easy too. First we start with about 3 to 4 cups of peaches, and they can be fresh, frozen, or even canned. They all work great. Today we're using fresh peaches we got at the farmer's market. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sugar to the peaches. Easy peasy. So there's 1. After the sugar, add 1/2 cup of flour. This is going to help thicken the filling as it bakes. Mix all that together. You can even get in there with your hands, which I like to do. So you want to make sure that's incorporated all through the fruit. And then you can just let this sit to the side while you get your pastry dough ready. Now this is a 3-pastry cobbler, so you're actually going to need 3 pie crusts. You can get store-bought, that's what I'm using today, that works fine, or you can make your own. Now the first one we're going to cut into strips and actually bake this for about 7 minutes. They're not going to be all the way done, but they're going to be. We're going to place them on either a little cookie sheet, or I have this pizza pan here. So we're just going to stick these in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes till they just start to cook. Now while that's baking, you simply roll out your bottom pie crust so that it fits into a 9 by 13 rectangular pan. I've split this recipe in half before and made it in a half size, and it worked great if you're just gonna, make it for 2 to 4 people. Then you just lay it in an ungreased rectangular baking pan. I've always used glass, but just lay it in there. It doesn't have to be neat and pretty. And we're going to add our first layer of filling. So again, like I said, this is a country, homey, family recipe, so this does not have to be beautiful. So you want to take about half of your fruit mixture. You're going to lay it out in the bottom. Spread it around. Okay, then you're going to take about 2 tablespoons of butter and just dot the filling with that butter all around. Okay, now we have the pre-baked pastry crust. See, it's just starting to brown, but it's not all the way there yet. So that's how you want it. You don't want to overdo those at all. You don't want to get them all the way browned. So you just lay them over the crust or over the bottom filling. That's good enough. You might have extra, don't worry about it. And now we're going to pour the rest of the filling over the top. And then we're going to top this with 1 more layer of crust. And this crust is going to get chewy and tender, and it will melt in your mouth. I'm going to get every bit of goodness here. Then you're going to lay that last crust over the top. You want to kind of seal it around. We're going to cut just a few slits in the top. That's going to allow the juices to bubble out, let out the steam. And then finally, we're going to finish by dotting the top again with butter. Just like you did before, about another 2 tablespoons or so. last step, we're going to take some heavy cream or milk. Half and half will do, whatever you have in the fridge. Not fancy. You're going to brush it on the top. And then once you have that brushed with the cream, you're going to sprinkle with sugar. So just about a little handful, about a, we'll say 2 or 3 tablespoons. That's going to make a nice little bit of crispy finish on the top. And then we stick it into a preheated 375-degree oven until the top is just starting to turn golden brown, the juices are bubbling through, and that tends to be around 35 minutes or so, but you'll just want to check it at around that 20-minute mark just to see how it's doing. So you pull it out after about 30 minutes when it's kind of golden brown on top and the juices are bubbling, and there you go, Wilma's peach cobbler.